वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः। एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्ताः स्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धया ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परा अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धरता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ज्ञानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी। सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः। समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः। तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेता स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः। ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। उपस्थित भगवत
भक्तों के रूप में मेरी अपनी ही आत्माओं। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता भगवान के मुखारबिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी है, और जो भी जीव श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है, वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस भेष में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है।
शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि संसारमाया परिवर्जितोऽसि संसारस्वप्नं त्याज मोहनिद्रं मदालसोला पमुवाच बुद्धम् मदालसोला पमुवाच बुद्धम्। शुद्धोऽसि रेतात् तनतेऽस्ति नाम कृतं तितत्कल्पनयाथुनैव पञ्चात्मकं देहायिदं न तेस्ति नैव स्य त्वं रोदिसि कस्य हेतोः दिविश्वजन्मा शब्दोऽयमाया ह्यमहीश्वशूनुं विकाप्यमाना विविधैर्गुणैस्ते गुणश्च भवतः सकलेन्द्रियेषु भूतानि भूतैः परिदुर्बलानि बुद्धिं समाया यथेह पुंसः अन्नाम् उत्पन्नादिभिरेव तस्मात् न तेस्ति बुद्धिर्न च तेस्ति हानिः शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि संसारमाया परिवर्जितोऽसि संसारस्वप्नं त्यजमोहनिद्रं मदालसोला पमुवाच पुत्रम् मदालसोला पमुवाच पुत्रम् मदालसोला पमुवाच पुत्रम् दर्शन कर परिवार सहित भवसागर से तर जाता है। इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो, इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो। सत्य नियम भंग मत कभी करो, भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर है। नित्य नाम हरि का रिया करो। नित्य नाम हरि का रिया करो। भगवद गीता विश्वास सहित नर परता और अपराता है। प्रभु दासन कर परिवार सहित भव सागर से तर जाता है। इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो, इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो। सत्य नियम भंग मत कभी करो, भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर है। नित्य नाम हरि का रिया करो। नित्य नाम हरि का रिया करो। You can now gently and slowly open your eyes and know that you are a unique and beautiful spiritual being of pure consciousness, and all you have to do is to shine brightly wherever you go, and you will be helping the world and the universe. Stay blessed.
वसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Swami Geeta Kiran ji and Guru Bhai Joshi ji, who is on his way back from Geeta Dham. I would like to request Guru Bhai Ramesh Khemlani to take a few minutes and tell us about Geeta Dham, and then we'll hear Dr. Prasad ji. So Ramesh Khemlani ji, are you there? Tell us a little about Geeta Dham, and then we'll proceed.
जय श्री कृष्ण। ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़े भाग्य की बात थी, और बहुत सालों के बाद हमने गीता धाम का प्रोग्राम अटेंड किया था उसी उल्लास के साथ, और काफी लोग आए इस साल, क्योंकि आपस में शायद मीटिंग भी थी ट्रस्टीज की, तो सब लोग आए। सब लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम किया, और खासकर बच्चों ने तो मिलकर एक अपना बहुत यूनिक प्रोग्राम बनाया था। काफी एक्टिव हो गए हैं और बच्चे भी सीख रहे हैं, पहले से गीता का एक टीचर आया हुआ है संस्कृत का, वो टीचर सिखा रहा है गीता का। और इस समय 16 चैप्टर के ऊपर सब लोग कंसंट्रेट कर रहे थे। और सबसे बड़ी चीज ये है कि बहुत ही गुरुजी के बाद मैं सोचता था कि गुरुजी के बराबर कोई मिले, ऐसा कोई पूरे वर्ल्ड में गुरु हो जो गीता के ऊपर प्रचार करता हो। मैं काफी टाइम से वाच कर रहा था कि हमारे गुरु जी बड़ा तो कोई हो ही नहीं सकता है, लेकिन गुरु जी के बराबर तो कोई हो। तो उसमें हम काफी टाइम से देख रहे थे, एक ज्ञानानंद जी हैं कुरुक्षेत्र से। वो गुरु जी की काफी गीता के ऊपर बहुत ही अच्छा सत्संग और बहुत ही प्रचार करते हैं गुरु जी के बाद। तो मैंने उसको कोशिश की, मैंने कहा थोड़ा कब मिलेंगे। तो भगवान कहते हैं जिसको चाहिए मैं उसको देता हूँ। तो मैं उसको देख के हैरान हो गया, मैंने कहा ये तो प्रत्यक्ष इधर ही आ गए गीता धाम में। और उन्होंने ज्यादा नहीं, वैसे अगर एक दिन और रहते तो थोड़ा सबको लाभ होता, लेकिन कुछ घंटों के लिए वो आए थे प्रोग्राम पे और सबको आशीर्वाद दे गए, गीता के बारे में बता के गए। बहुत अच्छी चीजें 16 अध्याय के ऊपर कंसेप्ट प्रवचन किया और बताया कि हम क्या क्या वहाँ कुरुक्षेत्र में कर रहे हैं। और मैं भी इनके सारे वीडियोस देखता था, बहुत अच्छी तरह से ये व्याख्या करते हैं गुरु जी के बाद जो है। क्योंकि भागवत और दूसरी चीजें तो सब लोग कथा करते हैं 6 दिन 7 दिन, गीता के ऊपर बहुत डिफिकल्ट है। संस्कृत के ऊपर ऐसे बहुत 2 या 3 ऐसे कुछ होंगे गीता के ऊपर सारे पूरे होल वर्ल्ड में। तो ये काफी मेहनत कर रहे हैं, मैंने इसके बहुत ही देखे हैं प्रचारक। और खुद भी बहुत हर शहर में, हर छोटे छोटे शहर में जाके गीता का पूरे पंजाब में जाके करते हैं गीता का प्रचार। तो अब हमारी किस्मत अच्छी थी, दर्शन हुए और सबको बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से संबोधित किया गीता का। और बताया कि आप लोग भी कोशिश करके आप आओ हमारे वहाँ पर, आके अपना व्यू गीता के ऊपर सबको इनवाइट करके गए हैं। और एक दूसरे संत थे, वो राजकोट से आए थे, वो 3 दिन रहे थे, उनका लाभ बहुत मिलता था। उन्होंने भी प्रोग्राम अच्छा किया गीता के ऊपर। और रात को डिनर के बाद 2 घंटे हॉल है बाहर खुला हुआ, वहां पर सब लोग मिलकर बैठते थे, क्वेश्चन आंसर करते थे अच्छी तरह से। सबको खुश करके गए। वो भी संत बहुत ही पेशेंट और सबको गीता के ऊपर और जनरल योगा बहुत सारी चीजें बता के गए। तो इस तरह से 2 संत आए थे और उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा प्रचार करके गीता धाम के 4 चांद लगा के गए। तो सबको आना चाहिए। शंकर भगवान की वहां पर अभिषेक हुआ, बहुत जैसे अभिषेक होता है वैसे अभिषेक हुआ। और हमारे अ, हनुमान जी का भी भोग लगा, उसके ऊपर भी बहुत अच्छा हनुमान चालीसा का पाठ किया। और जो हॉल है जहाँ पर राधा कृष्ण जी की है, वहां पर भी सत्संग रोज होता था, सुबह आरती। और सब लोग अच्छी तरह से दर्शन करते थे। जहाँ हमारे स्वामी महाराज की कुटिया है वहां पर भी रोज सब लोग आते थे। और इस तरह से सब लोग मिलकर बहुत अच्छी तरह से सुबह से रात तक आपस में मिलते थे। एक दूसरे से परिचय होता था। सब लोग ने बोला कि आप लोग आओ, सब कोशिश करें गीता को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए। तो ऐसे 3 4 दिन बीत गए बहुत अच्छे। और जाना चाहिए, है तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट सबके लिए, कोई कहाँ रहता है कोई कहाँ रहता है, लेकिन कोशिश करें अगर। और बीच में भी बोला है सबको आने के लिए। गौशाला भी बहुत अच्छी तरह से प्रचार कर रहे हैं, सबकी सेवा कर रहे हैं। बाकी बच्चों ने तो इतनी सेवा की, कह नहीं सकते हैं। बच्चे बहुत प्यारे और बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से एक एक जने के लिए 24 घंटे बिल्कुल तैयार थी सेवा के लिए। तो इस तरह से 3 दिन बहुत अच्छे बीत गए। जोशी जी आए थे और उन्होंने भी बहुत अच्छा सबको अपना गीता के ऊपर प्रवचन करके सबको संबोधित किया। बस ये वहाँ का प्रोग्राम था 3-4 दिन का। वी ऑल एंजॉय। जय श्री कृष्ण।
थैंक यू सो मच। बहुत बहुत आभार आपका।
थैंक
एंड
यू।
आपने
थैंक
बड़े अच्छी तरह के अपडेट दिया था। थैंक यू। Having said that, I'd like to now invite our respected Guru Bhai, Dr. Prasad ji, to please take it from here.
Thank you very much, Peter ji. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev to everybody. Let me start with prayer to Bhagwan and Gurudev. Vansi Vibhushita-kara Navanirdabha Pitambara Darunabimba-phaladharoष्ठा Purnendu-sundaramukha Arvindanetra Krishna Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jane Ajnanitimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Divine souls, last week we started to go through this verse, chapter 6, verse 5. I told you that this is one of the most important verses of Gita, often quoted. Bhagwan says, Uddhared atmana atmanam naatmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanah. There are 4 parts in this verse. You can take, there are 4 segments, you can say. First segment is Uddharedatmanatmanam. Let a man lift himself by himself. Then Natmanam avasadayet. Let him not degrade himself. The third segment, Atmaiva Yatmano Bandhuhu. Self alone is the friend of the self. And the last one, Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Self alone is also the enemy of the self. As I mentioned last week also, there are so many self here. So one may get a bit confused. What is meaning of this himself and then self? And so I had, through this diagram, I had tried to explain to you that there are 2 key words, Atmanam and Atmana. This Atmanam means self, myself. And when we say Atmana, that it, Bhagavan, in this verse, this Atmana or the self means mind. So if you take these 2 points, one is Bhagavan is talking about the individual and his mind. So this is an individual with various components, and he has this in central place, this is the mind. This plays the most significant role as to what this individual, which way he will go. In the path of spirituality, whether he will move upwards or he will go down, it entirely depends upon how his mind behaves. That is this mind plays the key role in leading an individual to a direction which is favorable or to direction which is unfavorable. So let us see what it means. So the first segment is Uddhare Atmanatmanam. So when we superimpose this Atmana with himself and this Atmana with mind, then it means let a man lift himself by using the power of his mind. We are all floating in this ocean of sansar. संसार सागर में हम गोते लगाते रहते हैं. We are involved. We are not in this body is not just taking care of its own self, but is also taking care of what is happening in the world outside and how the interaction between him and the sansar goes on. We cannot remain aloof from sansar. Oh, we can. But if that happens, then you are spiritually already elevated. If you are able to disconnect yourself from the sansar outside your body, well, you are at a higher, very high level. But that is not so with almost all of us. We are in sansar, so we have to deal with it. But you may not have much say about what is happening in sansar and how the sansar will affect you. But you have your own power, you have your own thinking, the mind and intellect, everything, to be able to react in the way which should take you higher level. So reaction from your side, you can determine, and that role is played by the mind. Bhagwan says to Arjuna, look, you have your mind. You let your mind take you spiritually at a higher level. And you can do this. And you only can do this. Nobody else. If you have got a headache, you have to take medicine to take yourself. Your father, mother, or wife, or children, if they take Tylenol, your headache will not go away. For your problem, you have to treat yourself. And that you can do if you make use of the power of your mind. The power of mind has to be used by you. So the emphasis here is that you yourself taking the power of your mind into action, you can do that. They said that एक पेड़ दो पक्षी बैठे, एक गुरु एक चेला, अपनी करनी गुरु उतारे और अपनी करनी चेला. Even though a teacher, even though a saint, even your guru can give you direction, give you help, give you assistance, and help you or teach you, give you gyan. But that gyan, if you go to the satsang and listen to whatever is told, and then you come home, you said, yes, it was very good pravachan, but what did you learn? You don't remember. Or even if you remember, you do not apply on yourself. So application has to be done by you and you alone. Even if a guru and chela, they are both of them are the two branches of a tree, Now, what Guru does, it depends, his activity will affect him. If the disciple, whatever it does, it depends, that he will be able to enjoy it. So the mind plays the key role. And as I mentioned last week also, Nana Gurudev has said, Man Jeete, Jagat Jeete. The one who has won over the mind, he has also won over the sansar. But what happens? Most of us are not in your daily life, from morning till evening. You are so much involved in the activities world outside, and your own self also, to clean yourself, to adore yourself, to put on beautiful garments, beautiful, all those things you can do. You do these things. But all those activity, all those actions which you perform for your daily, only as a daily routine, is that leading you, or do you, by performing all those actions, sometimes sit down and evaluate whatever I have done the whole day, what action has benefited somebody else, what action has been wrongly done by me, what mistakes I have committed, what good I have done. Evaluation, self-evaluation is a very important part of a person who is on a spiritual path. And you have to evaluate yourself where you are, how much of kam, krodh, lobh, chobh, mad, mastar, all those bad qualities in whole days, during the whole day, has any of those activities you have done, have you done any of those activities which are bad, wrong, which you should not have done? Anasritah karma phalam karjam karm karoti. Karjam karm, doable work. Works you should be performing. Have you done that? Or have you done all those activities which you should not have done? So the problem with most of us, that we are quite oblivious about where you are actually. You go to satsang. Just now we have heard from Ramesh ji. He is talking about Swami who has come Kurukshetra. He is so much pleased to see him that he's almost comparing him to Gurudev. Now, so he finds a big gap between himself and the Gurudev. So that gap, you are actually here, and you see somebody, a Mahatma, from whom you hear the discourses, and you consider him to be a person who is sannyasi or who has elevated to the higher level of yoga. He has yoga rudha. He has reached that high level of yoga. That means you have not. So you are able to see that you have not reached that level with other Swami or Mahatma or religious person of higher level they have reached. So this gap, we have to realize that the gap exists. We must find the difference between what actually we are and what should be our ideal level if you want to move higher on the path of spirituality. What happens? Many of us, vast majority of us, are blind about the imperfections. Not only that, sometimes they will say, "Jitna krodh main kar sakta hu." I can be so much angry, and he is proud. He is proud to declare that he is an angry man, and the way I can hit somebody, who else can do it? I can put him down on the floor, and that he is so happy about it. He adores that, and these are the lakshana of those people who have degraded themselves. Bhagwan says, Natmanam avasadayet. O Arjun, do not degrade yourself. In fact, by saying this, Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, you have my Sakha, you have degraded yourself. You were not like this when I joined you or you joined me. We came together to the battlefield with some purpose. We wanted to get rid of Anyaya, Adharma, and now you are praising them as if they are equal to you. And not only that, you are already so much dilapidated, so much down to the earth. You are not able to even get up. You are back on the seat through his Gandiva. So you have degraded yourself. Indirectly, Bhagavan is saying to Arjuna, we should think, have we degraded ourselves? Or are we going towards downgrade as those people who do not even think about it? Just, we are talking about chapter 16, which was discussed at Geeta Dham in the recently concluded function. The two verses are one after another, beautiful verses. We must always keep ourselves away from these. But we must recognize, Adhyo Vijanmanasmi, Konyosti Sadrisho Maya, Yakshe Dasya Memodisya, Ityagyan Vimohita. Deluded by the ignorance. That's what happened to Arjuna. He was deluded. Here also Bhagavan is saying, the person who is deluded, he will declare that he is rich, he is high-born. Who is equal to him? He can perform sacrifice, can give charity, he can rejoice and enjoy in life. There is nothing in the world which he cannot do. Aneka chitta vibhranta mohajala sambhavrata prasakta kam bhogesu patanti narkesu cho. This is what Bhagavan is trying to impress upon Arjuna. Don't narke asucha narke patanti. Don't descend to the murkiest hell. Don't go down to, don't think that you are the person who is high-born and rich and nothing. You are totally deluded. You do not know where you are. You do not understand. You are enjoying the sensuous pleasure which you will never be able to take you any higher level. So this is, in this way, Bhagavan is saying to Arjuna, let person not degrade himself. As the role of mind, we said the mind plays the key role. There is beautiful sloka in Brahma Vindu Upanishad. It says, Mana ev manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoha bandhaya visayasaktam mukte nirvishayam smritam. Beautiful verse. Every word is so important. Mind is the main cause of bondage. Manev manushyanam karanam bandha, and also mokshaya, and also salvation of all human beings. So it is the mind which is responsible for bondage and also for salvation. A mind attached to object, Vishaya Saktam. If he is Vishya Saktam, he is Bandhaya, he is bound to the world. He is the cause, that is the cause of bondage. And Mukteh Nirvisayam. Once he is devoid of desires and resolutions, he is, that mind itself is the cause of salvation. So through this sloka, we realize that Bhagavan, that the sloka tells that for a man, for an individual, for a manusya, this mana is the cause for bondage. Man is also the cause of moksha. It depends upon whether you have allowed this mind to be attached to objects, or you have got the mind who is devoid of desire and resolutions. Now, as I was going through the preparation of slide, I got a bit carried away, And I will take you also to that state of carrying away. It may be a bit higher level, but I would like you to enjoy. This is a beautiful piece of topic which one can take up as a matter of research. And if Bhagwan Gurudev was always wanted Gita Dham to be a center for research on Gita, this topic can be mind, the seeker, field of seeker, and the ever elusive sought. You see, the mind is the seeker because you apply mind to seek something. Mind is also the field of seeking. It is in the mind itself that the field you can interact in such a way, make use of the components there to be able to reach where something you are seeking. That is the ever elusive sought. to Brahma, it is not to be expressed, it is to be realized. Brahma is not a thing that you go to the market and say, oh, this is Brahma, that I will take it. It is ever elusive. You can never describe, and nobody has ever been able to complete the description of Brahma. But effort, a seeker will try to do it, and it is not that nobody has realized. People have realized. They have realized, but it cannot be expressed in words. Achintyam, abhikaryam, aprameyam, all those words, you know, all those things. But then you have the highest desire one can have, wish, is to have Brahma Prapti, Brahma, to attain Brahma. So the mind is a seeker, mind is the field of seeking, and seeking what? That ever elusive Brahma. That is what we're seeing. Now, I give you a very little bit of about Kenopanishad, verse 1. The first part is so deep meaning it has. Om Kene Sitam Patati Presitam Manaha. The question is asked as to how come or by whom will does mind light on the objects. Object is there, and to which the mind is receiving or sending, the interaction takes place. Patati presitam, it is also falling, and presitam also receiving. This interaction takes place. And how this takes place? Who does this interaction? Who is involved in that? That is the big question. And the answer is given in whole Upanishad. Those who are interested can go through that. But you all know Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara, you know, he was involved in reviving Hinduism because a lot of Buddhism had spread all over India and other parts of the world. He was trying to evolve, trying to bring in the Vedic Sanskar, Sanatan Dharma, or Vedanta Shastra, and in that he created Matha, the full. So he was at that time explaining about mana in mind, and he put mind into 4 components: mana, buddhi, chit, and ahankar. To explain these things as 4 components is easier, is easy to be understood, and functions of everything has been described separately, and you know it, or you are all quite aware of that. I will not go into that, but just to give an example how Adi Shankara put these 4 components of mana into a Satakam, Nirvan Satakam. One of the first part is that Mano Buddhi Hankar Chittani Naham. Mano Buddhi Hankar Chittani Naham. Nacha Srotra Jihve Nacha Grana Netre Nacha Vyoma Bhumi न तेजो Pranavayuhu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am neither man, nor buddhi, nor ahankar, not chitta. He also talks about the senses, sense organs, na ear, na tongue, na nose, na smell, and then panchabhut, na vyoma, bhumi, na tejo, na vayu. What I'm trying to talk about, that Adi Sankara described mind into 4 components. But see what happens? Subsequently, Jagadguru of Sringeri Sarada Pitham, Madhavacharya, who took another name subsequently as Swami Vidyarana and is more famous about Vidyarana, and he wrote a scripture, Panchdasi. In this Panchdasi, what he has done, he has made simpler the thoughts by Shankaracharya. Is his Advaita Vedant portion, which Jagadguru Shankaracharya was propagating. He tried to simplify that, and he produced that as Panchdasi. Where what he did in Panchdasi, he put all 4 together into one component. Man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, he put together as one component and make it as mind. And if you go through Panchdasi, you will appreciate what he means by that. I will not take you to that. But then Patanjali Yoga Shastra, he concentrated on chitta vritti nirodha. For him, chitta is one component. Man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Chit is a memory. Chitta is memory component which has got all information of all past lives and present life. That chitta is the memory bank. This bank has all the components, all the ideas, everything what you are is all in a compact form in chitta is there. So when you behave in some way, you get feedback from chitta, like a bank, like it's like a computer also. You have got the stock there in the computer, and when you keep something, information comes from, I tell you to do this or not do this. So that kind of information is contained in chitta. Patanjali Yoga Shastra, Patanjali, he put chitta vritti. For him, chitta is important. If you are able to control chitta, then you can have Brahma. In order to reach Brahma, there is a need to get rid of all the vritti of chitta, all the manifestations of chitta, all the informations which are contained in the chitta, and from there, whatever this positions takes place, Patanjali Yoga Shastra says that if you are able to have full control over all those dysfunctions of modifications of chitta, then you will reach Brahma. So he puts 3. This 4 is now under the Patanjali Yoga Shastra. Mana, buddhi and chit is good enough. He is taking ahankar as a separate part, and mana, buddhi and chit comes in for 3 functions. I am giving this for the interest of those who may like to study and dive deep into the mind and its 4 components. If you don't want to go into that, perfectly all right. As long as we have the importance that mind plays the key role, and that it is mind which is responsible for your downfall or for your. Patanjali also says mind holds the key to the ultimate reality, a vehicle or doorway for spiritual liberation. It is a friend of yours, or an instrument for enslavement, foe. The mind itself can be your friend, can be your foe. Man eva bandhu, man eva one eva bandhu, or one eva mokshaya. So bandhu and mokshaya both can be done by mind itself. Now, what Bhagavad Gita says, that's the beauty. In Bhagavad Gita, when you go throughout the whole Bhagavad Gita, you will find that as you have got Kama, Krodh together, Kama, Krodh goes on. So in man or buddhi, भगवान ने मन और बुद्धि को जोड़ कर रखा है. You will see, as you read Bhagavad Gita, you will find many places. I have counted, but I will not tell you all those. It has man and buddhi get to go together. So the great emphasis is given into the combination of mind and intellect. You can see there's so many verses. Okay. Now Bhagavan has at third level, third chapter itself, Bhagavan talks about which is high, rated them one above the other. Indriyani paranyuhu, indriye bhaya param manah, manasastu para buddhi, te buddhi, yo buddhe partastu saha. So he has given one above the other. That means if you have got indriyani, then it is great. That's fine. But greater than indriya is greater than indriyani mana. Indriyani paranyahu. And greater than mana is buddhi. And greater than buddhi is that self, that Paramatma, Jivatma in you. So this kind of grading, it has been done by Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavan says, you win over the other. Let the man take control of the senses, let the intellect control the mind, and let the Jivatma control the buddhi. So there is grading there. If you have not been able to control one above the other, that is kind of teaching what you get from Bhagavad Gita. And he says here, in this verse 43, he says, Evam buddhe param buddhva sanstabhyaman atmana Jahi Satru Mahabaho Kam Rupam Durasadan. Beautiful verse. He says, here also you see the word Atmana, and Atmana comes in. That the self, the higher self and lower self comes in. That one above the other. So knowing the self, the top one, knowing that is superior to the intellect. You see that? You know that this Atmana, this is superior to the intellect. Oh, Arjuna, restrain the lower self by the higher self. So the one above the other, you can take control of the lower self using the higher self. One above the other, one above the other. So that's what Bhagavan, throughout Bhagavad Gita, talked about man and buddhi together. See that in chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, Mayeva man adhatsva may buddhim niveshaya. Man and buddhi, it goes on. Both man and buddhi you put onto me. Surrender your mind and intellect together. Esha tebhita sankhe buddhi yoge tumam srunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prayasasi. You see that? Here, what is happening? In chapter 2, Bhagavan starts with Sankhya Yoga. Asocha nana sochastham pragyavadansa bhasasai gatasu na gatasu sa nana sochanti pandita natvevaham jatunasam natvam neve janadipa nachebana bhavishyam sarve vayamatam loke. All those verses you read, each verse, one of the verses, na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sata. All those verses up to verse 30, from verse 11 in chapter 2 to verse 30, Bhagavan goes on talking about Sankhya Yoga. But he probably realized that at the moment, Arjuna's mind is not capable of holding whatever I'm saying. So he says, Swadharma vichavecha na vikampitum bharasi. From verse 31, he says, now, what about your dharma? You are Kshatriya. So he came down from Sankhya philosophy to his own dharma, करे तुम्हारा धर्म क्या है वो तुमको पता है कि नहीं? तुम क्षत्रिय हो। न भी कंपितु मर्सी, तुम्हें कांपने की जरूरत नहीं है। क्यों डर रहे हो, तरता रहे हो, कांप रहे हो, खड़े हो नहीं हो रहे हो, गांडी में छूट गया? तो ये भगवान पहले तो सांख्य योग, और प्रोबेबली उन्होंने सोचा कि सांख्य योग की बात करके समझ में जब बात आ जाएगी तो लड़ाई करेगा, लेकिन वो तो मुंह ताके वो खड़ा बैठा हुआ था। So, but then even that didn't deter him. He still went on looking just like that. So Bhagavan came on to Buddhi Yoga. You see the गुरुदेव ने समझाया अच्छी तरह से इस बात को कि यहां पर आफ्टर वर्स 38 ऐसा ते भी था सांख्य, तुमको सांख्य के द्वारा तुमको समझाया, समझ में नहीं आया, अब बुद्धि योग तुम सुनो. And then he went on to talk about Sthita Pragya. 18 verses continuously, one after another. Verse 54 to 72, he talked about Sthita Pragya. That is the Pragya Prakanam. That is what is called intellect, highest level of principle absolute. And then he tried to, I'm looking at my watch and looks like that I am going beyond my time. I think I will explain further next week because I don't want to annoy Peterji. He is so particular about his timing. He says you are allowed up to 29 and you have gone to 34. So I have gone 5 minutes more. I think I will stop here, but I will continue this next week. And I'll explain it a bit more because something more is to be talked about in this verse. I have not completed this verse, but I will continue next week. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so much, Dr. Prasad ji.
Jai Shri
Much
Krishna,
appreciated.
everyone.
हाँ जी, आशा जी, जय श्री कृष्ण.
Thank you.
हाँ जी,
How are you, Peter ji?
बिल्कुल ठीक आशा जी. और आप?
चल रहा है ठीक.
अच्छा, बहुत ही बढ़िया, बहुत ही बढ़िया. ठीक है. I would now like to hand it over to Swami Geeta Kiran ji to please conclude the program. Over to you. You have to unmute.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Peter ji and Ramesh ji. Though what he said was in Hindi. I need your translation later on. And thank you so much, Dr. Prasad ji. And I would like to share with us that really the blessing of Guru Gita and Gopal is very, very with us. And this morning, before the session, some thought came to me, and it's about today's lecture. And Dr. Prasad ji just came on this Uttare Manam and went into details. And I felt so much blessed. Even though I could understand only just maybe at the moment, maybe 30-40% of your lecture, but I know this is the way to pursue more. I will listen to it more often. I ask Amonji to please upload this immediately to YouTube so that I can listen to it repeatedly more right away. So thank you so much with all the blessing from all of you. And I'm just like Arjuna, representing the people in this world to enjoy the blessing from all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jai
Jai Shri
Jai Shri Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण. जय श्री कृष्ण.
Until next week,
Thank you.
stay blessed.
Jai Shri Krishna, everybody.
Thank you.
Jai
Thank
Shri
you,
Krishna.
Prasad ji. Thank you, Peter ji.
Yeah, I have one question too. Maybe next week, Dr. Prasad can elaborate the word mind and the word intellect. Or
Okay. Yes, that is the topic I'm concentrating on. Yes, I will explain again next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Jai
Good
Shri
night.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Good day.
Good night.